Welcome to Staking Mondays. My name is Marian. I'm head of BD at Staking Rewards, and today it's my pleasure to interview Sota Watanabe, founder of Astar Network. Astar Network connects the Polkadot ecosystem to Ethereum, Cosmos, and all Layer 1 blockchains. Welcome, Sota.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me today. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm a big fan of you and your podcast.
Great. Let's jump right in. Yesterday morning, you had to communicate Astar Network's response to the Akala USD exploit. What happened there, and how did it affect Astar? Could you walk us through that, please?
Yep, of course. This is a little bit difficult question because this incident is on Akala, not on Astar, and Astar and Akala are two different parachain. But we have been working together with Akala, and I strongly believe that their capability to recover from the incident. And the problem is that Akala opened the channel between Interlay and Akala, and now user can bring the Bitcoin value to Akala ecosystem. And Akala issued AUSD, which is the stablecoin on Polkadot, and using Bitcoin as a collateral. But unluckily, the hacker issued a lot of the AUSD by using the same Bitcoin, BTC. So more than 1.2 billion AUSD was issued on Akala with very limited collateral. But luckily, Akala found the bug and the network was suspended. So the negative impact and the financial loss is very smaller than I expected, thanks to Akala's quick response. And the Astar is a different parachain from Akala, and the user have to transfer Akala token from Akala parachain to Astar parachain. We realized the problem, and within 3 hours, we evaluated potential loss and potential damage, and evaluated all options, and we executed within 3 hours. By the way, I was watching. It was Sunday, noon for me, and I was watching a movie called One Piece, which is one of the famous manga anime. So I, went out to the movie theater and dealt with the problem. And Astar stopped importing AUSD from Akala to Astar, so the hacker could not transfer AUSD to Astar network ecosystem. So meaning that we prevented secondary issue or secondary hack on Astar. So it was the incident is always not good, but it was great to see our quick response and quick the fix. So it was Sunday, so it was really hard, but it was good to see a quick response of the Astar.
How does this emergency incident respond works for you and your team? How did you organize this? Maybe give us a view behind the curtains for that.
Yeah, so we have been working with Akala, and we have been working together with other parachains. So if there is incident on other parachain, there will be a potential incident on Astar. So we have to monitor all potential incidents in our Polkadot ecosystem. And luckily it was new for me, so I made the decision. I talked with, so basically we have a group called Astar War Room, and the executive member are there and geologically distributed. So the people in the room discussed and have a consensus, at least with 4 people in a group. And then the leader going to execute. If I am sleeping, another executive in the US or Europe can make a decision quickly, because the speed is really important to prevent further hack. So we intentionally distribute our ownership and my right to make a decision. So we can work on any hack 24 hours, 7 days.
And judging from the Twitter post that you did last morning, you were actually able to prevent any, if not all, transfer of AUSD towards Astar Network, and by that mitigate any damage to the value.
So exactly. So we evaluated potential loss in impact on Astar, and I would say that the impact is almost zero. So which is really, really small and smaller than other parachain. Because our response was, I think, quickest. And we value transparency. So we had a duty to explain what's happening and how our decision, how to deal it. So that's why I made a blog post on Discord and published on Discord and Twitter. When incidents happen, the most important things we need to do is to prevent further FUD. I mean, rumor, because people does not have technical knowledge, and also Twitter is not always the best place to discuss. So it is really important for the core team and founder to make a announcement and share the correct information. So
like crisis communication is important, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when we make an announcement, potentially market is going down, our price goes down maybe, but what we have to stop is FUD. And if FUD is spreaded, price going down again. So we have to, we needed to compromise the short-term impact, but we have to prevent the long-term negative impact. And I think we did a great job about this.
Yes, I do think so as well. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, and when it comes to negative impact, at that time people can transfer AUSD to Astar Network ecosystem, and compared to other parachain, I don't want to say numbers regarding the other parachain, but when it comes to Astar, only 2 transactions we allowed from Akara to Astar, so only 2 address we needed to monitor. The other parachain has more than 50 or something like that, but quick response in the transparency to the community are the key.
Great. Maybe, so we jumped right into the most recent incident, but maybe for listeners that are new to Astar Network, could you just briefly give us the base positioning that you chose for Astar Network?
Yep. So Astar Network is the future of smart contract platform for the multi-chain era. Last year, 2021, the keyword was faster or maybe cheaper. But next year, in 2023, I think multi-chain or cross-chain are going to be the key. So we are making future of smart contract platform starting from Polkadot, but we are going to expand our ecosystem to Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, and so on. So Polkadot, when it comes to Polkadot has relay chain and parachain. The relay chain is the heart of the Polkadot, and parachain is the layer 1 blockchain that has own logic, like smart contract chain or DeFi chain, NFT chain, and so on. And we are making smart contract parachain because Polkadot relay chain, the heart of the Polkadot, does not support smart contract by design. So at least all people in a Polkadot ecosystem need smart contract parachain, and we are making smart contract parachain. Other people are also making smart contract parachain, but we have 2 unique features. One feature is we are supporting not only Ethereum virtual machine, but also WebAssembly. Ethereum virtual machine is like Windows OS. It's widely used, but it's, I would say, obsolete. Mac OS is more sophisticated and cutting edge. This is like WebAssembly in a blockchain space. We are supporting both Ethereum virtual machine and WebAssembly, so we can support not only Solidity, Viper, but also JavaScript, Python, Rust, and so on. And according to Gavin Hood, the founder of Polkadot and the original CTO of the Ethereum, he mentioned that EVM is really important right now, but the future is WebAssembly. So I'm seeing this transition as well. So right now, it is super important to support the migration from other layer 1 blockchain, other EVM chain to Astar. But in the long run, we would like to see more WebAssembly oriented use cases. And another feature we have is the dApps staking, which is the basic income for developer. The most important people in a blockchain ecosystem is always developer, right? But developer are paying money to contribute to the ecosystem. Like when it comes to other layer 1 blockchain, they have to pay gas fee when they make smart contract, or they have to pay US dollar to run nodes, right? This does not make sense because they are the most important people, developer, we have to care, but they are paying a lot of the cost. And maybe influencer or maybe sharers are getting a lot of the money. So blockchain is all about incentive, but the incentive design here is completely broken. And we fixed. We have dApps staking, so people can stake their token, Astar token on dApps. And dApps developer can get basic income from block rewards based on the staking amount from the community. So the more staking dApps can get, the more basic income they can get from block reward inflation. So by making smart contract or by making infrastructure on Astar, they can get rewarded from the community automatically and with decentralization. So this is pretty unique. And we would like to make leading smart contract hub starting from Polkadot ecosystem. And next year, I think that this is the era of the multi-chain. So we would like to be recognized as leading emerging layer 1 blockchain in 2023.
Got it. Yeah, it's the classic developer first approach that I think was nailed down by Stripe, right?
Yep.
If you nail it for the developers, they will, wherever they build, whenever they build, they will build with you. And I think allowing this in a staking way is a smart way to incentivize developers directly.
Yep, exactly. So this is the really important things for Astar Network, and I think for the entire blockchain ecosystem.
And one thing that you mentioned, and that's also very prominent on your website, is the future is multi-chain. So this is like a core hypothesis that you have for the future. What brought you to this hypothesis? What are your arguments and your data points supporting this hypothesis?
Yeah, I think this is super great question. So before starting blockchain, I had to consider a lot of the use cases. And to think of the use cases, I learned a lot from the internet history. So before the internet, it was called intranet. And there are a bunch of the network, like network at Stanford, network at Berkeley, New York, Tokyo University, or maybe the private company, and so on. So there are a lot of the silos over the world. But right now, we can talk each other simultaneously thanks to TCP/IP protocol. And right now, internet is connected. And that's why we can say the internet. It sounds like one network. But blockchain is isolated, and there are a lot of the silo, like not only Ethereum but also Astar, Moonbeam, Solana, Avalanche, and so on. So blockchain needed to be connected in a protocol level, not an application level. So if application connect blockchains, like it's like multi-chain strategy, right? A lot of the application deploy exactly the same contract on Ethereum and others. But the problem is the liquidity and total value locked are also isolated. So if Uniswap is on Ethereum, which is great and very sophisticated, and there are a lot of the total value locked here, but if they deploy the Uniswap code on other layer 1 blockchain, they have to make total value locked from scratch, right? So liquidity is very isolated. This is not the future. So in the future, protocol will be connected. And application on Astar can use Ethereum total value locked and liquidity seamlessly. Then application can enjoy multi-chain future. I think this is my future's vision. And internet has exactly almost the same history to the blockchain. In internet is connected right now, so blockchain will be connected just like internet in coming years. And I would like to make one of the fundamental protocol to connect layer one blockchains to realize more sophisticated use case.
So to remain in the analogy that you painted there, it's like right now we do have exchanges that are, one is running on the Stanford intranet, next one is on DARPA intranet,
Yep.
and they are not connected. And what you are actually trying to achieve is that the dApps will not run on these segregated or siloed intranets, but they will just connect to the blockchain, which is like the internet now, fully connected.
Yeah,
Right.
so I think in the future, users do not care about which blockchain to use. They may using Ethereum, they may using Solana, they may using Astar, but
Without even knowing it, right?
from user's perspective, from the user's perspective, they don't know which blockchain to use because blockchain is connected, just like internet. So right now we are using internet, and probably this Amazon AWS or Microsoft Azure on landing, maybe in Japan, maybe in the US, maybe in Europe, but I don't know, and I don't care. So same experience in the future.
Got it. How do you view the competition between smart contract hubs on Polkadot, like Moonbeam and others? Do you think Astar Network will dominate that niche?
Yeah. So Moonbeam is creating Ethereum compatible layer one blockchain, and we don't have any plan to make Ethereum 100% Ethereum compatible network. So let's say Moonbeam is 100% Ethereum compatible Polkadot Parachain. I would say Astar Network is 70% or maybe 60%, because if we optimize to the Ethereum, it's gonna be really hard and harder for us to make more sophisticated WebAssembly use cases. And so to answer your question, probably Polkadot ecosystem is still too small to compete. And so we have to work with Moonbeam and maybe other smart contract platform to make ecosystem bigger. And then we can compete. And I believe that future is going to be WebAssembly smart contract. And that's why we are supporting them. And Moonbeam does not have any plan to support WebAssembly. So this is going to be the killer feature. And we also have dApps staking, which is very unique in really sophisticated differentiator, I guess.
In that regard, what effect do you think will the Ethereum merge have on the Polkadot ecosystem?
I think to enjoy the full potential of the Ethereum, it still take, I would say, years, because the merge is just the beginning of the Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum Foundation is not calling Ethereum 2.0, but a lot of the people just ignore a lot of the step after the merge. I know a lot of the step, like Surge, Barge, Splurge, and others. I don't remember, but there are a lot of the steps after the merge. So right now, I feel that people over-evaluate the merge, but the merge is not everything, just a part of the update. So probably it takes another years to complete the Ethereum update. So meanwhile, a lot of the layer one blockchain will be flourished. So there will be a strong need to connect the blockchain still. I don't think Ethereum are going to dominate all the blockchain ecosystem.
Do you then intend to integrate other ecosystems as well later on?
Yes. So we are going to integrate a lot of the ecosystem, like Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Avalanche, and so on, because we would like to make multi-chain future, and I think it is not possible for Astar to make another Ethereum. So connecting blockchain makes sense a lot for us.
Right. Then on the dApp staking. So on staking rewards, users come to us often to find assets, find out the yields that they pay out, and then buy into the assets, stake the assets, and later on find the right validators to stake with. Maybe from the perspective of an investor, could you pitch us the dApp staking for an investor's perspective?
Yeah, investor's perspective. Got it. So if investor has Astar token, there are a lot of the way to use Astar. So one of the securest ways using dApps staking. So investor lock Astar token on their own account, and then they can use dApps staking. This means that user is not transferring the token from A account to B account. So they are locking token, their own account, which means it is extremely safe. And they're using dApps staking. So dApps staking security is the most important thing, especially for whales, right? So dApps staking is really ideal way to earn staking. And we also have a collator proof of stake. So people can make node and run collator on Astar Network. And right now, it is not possible to make nominated proof of stake. So people cannot use their token for staking on collator because Polkadot does not support Polkadot Parachain does not support nominated proof of stake. But in the future, we are going to support nominated proof of stake, and token holder can stake their token on collator so that they can get staking rewards. But the dApps staking is the best way. And the last way is using DeFi or maybe using NFT on Astar.
Please walk us through the economics of it. Where does the value come from that you as a dApp staker earn?
Yep. Yeah, so we do have really unique token economics. So let's say, to make it clear, to make it easy, so let's say our valuation is 1 billion. Our fully diluted value is 1 billion. And we have roughly, to make it easy, 10%. 10% inflation. Then 100 million will be issued per year, right? And right now, I think 20% goes to collator, and 30% goes to treasury, and 50% goes to developer and staker. And we can adjust this number based on the governance. And I said 50% goes to dApps creator and staker. And people can stake their token on dApps through our portal, our product. And based on the staking amounts, so let's say your application get 100 staking amount, and my application get 10 staking amounts. And then you can get 10 times bigger basic income from block rewards. So 50% of block rewards goes to community. And 40% out of that 50% goes to developer, and 10% goes to staker. So by staking your token on dApps, you can get staking amounts. And by making smart contract on Astar, you can get revenue. And the beauty of our token economics is the more dApps are created on Astar Network, the more option we can stake, right? So the more dApps are created, the more tokens should be locked, logically speaking. And the more tokens are locked, there are less circulation supply in the market. But since we are increasing the number of the dApps, the more utility, but liquidity is smaller and smaller. And price is generally decided by supply and demand. And supply is decreasing, but demand is increasing. And then theoretically speaking, again, price is going up because it is decided by demand and supply. And if price became double, our valuation became 2 billion, and we can distribute 200 million to the community. And then we can distribute more amount to the developers. So probably yeah, I hope you can understand our token economics.
So
Probably it's not easy.
how would, let's say one dApp is extremely popular and the other one is not. How is that reflected in the staking behavior?
Yeah, we are right now, the dApps can dominate the basic income. But I don't think it is not fair and it is not good. So we can adjust parameters. Right now we have a dynamic inflation. So if the number of the dApps is small and we distribute a lot of the token to dApps, single dApps, each dApps can get a lot of the token, right? So we have a dynamic token economics, dynamic inflation. The more dApps are developed on Astar, the more token will be issued, and then more token will be distributed to the dApps. So in probably we can adjust the on-chain parameter in the future. So we would like to discuss with the community.
And you can find the whole documentation on dApp staking in the documents on Astar Networks website, right?
Yeah, exactly. In just a moment, I would like to explain our token economics a little bit. Yeah, this is our token economics, and this is our network effect. So all value is like, it's hypothesis. It's not real number. So please forget about this number because this is not financial advice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say our valuation is 1 billion and we have a 10% inflation. So 100 million will be issued, right? And this parameter, 10%, 40%, 50% can be adjusted. So this is also an example. So 10% goes to creator, 10 million will be distributed. And 40 million goes to treasury. So 40 million goes to treasury and we can decide how to use it. Our community can decide. And 50% goes to dApps and developer and staker. And this is our product. And people can stake their token on dApps and they can get staking rewards, 10 million out of 50 million. And developer can deploy smart contract and their application will be listed on our portal. It's like just Apple Store or maybe Google Play Store. And then developer can get basic income. So 40 million out of 50 million are distributed to the community and ecosystem member. Developer join our ecosystem because they can earn token. If they join other ecosystem, they have to pay the token. They have to lose the token. But they can earn token in the Astar Network ecosystem. And the more dApps are created, this is step 5. The more dApps are created, the more token will be staked. And the more token are staked, the less token there in circulation. There are less circulation, but the more demand because number of the dApps is increasing. So there is positive feedback on our valuation because token price is decided by supply and demand. And our valuation become 2 billion and 10% goes to 200 million. And we can distribute 100 million to the community. And we can distribute 2 times more amount, the more developer comes in. And the more dApps are created, the less token in circulation. There is another positive feedback on our valuation, 3 billion, 300, 4 billion, 400. So this is like our token economics,
But wouldn't
which is very unique.
But wouldn't developers or the others from time to time also need to unstake and then sell their tokens just to liquidate and, let's say, go back to fiat currencies to pay their bills?
Yeah, exactly. But this is also on-chain data. So let's say if developers are selling a lot of the token, people can realize this is not the right place to stake. And then they can switch the staking destination from application A to more contributing project.
Got it. Maybe then on the dApp staking issue, let's say, would you like to add something more to that? Otherwise, I would go over to the closing remark questions.
Yeah, probably I was speaking a lot about dApps staking, but I would say this is very innovative token economics, I would say, regarding the in a layer 1 blockchain ecosystem. And I think developer are the most important people in the blockchain space, but the most undervaluated in terms of the financial rewards. So we do need an incentive for developers to deploy on Astar. So right now, dApps staking is working well, but it's not fully recognized. So we would like to prove the value and prove our token economics. And once we get the attention and our network became bigger, probably this dApps staking strategy is going to be more important. So we will do our best to adjust parameters for entire sustainable blockchain ecosystem growth.
Yeah, and I think the staking Mondays are exactly the right medium to get more attention on the dApp staking on Astar Network.
Exactly.
Then, what was the last big learning for you in crypto? So let's say, when did you last change your mind on a thing in crypto?
Anything, not only tech, but also anything, right?
Anything,
I think the most important things for the crypto entrepreneur is to humble and to be really serious for the product growth, and also people have to make community driven project, because the value of the Web3 project comes from community, not comes from very single entity or just core team. So blockchain values, Web3 project value comes from community. Probably I would like to emphasize the first one. So project need to be humble. So in the crypto space, people are getting rich really quick. So sometimes people think that they can earn a lot of the money because he or she is wise. But actually they can get a lot of the money because market is going up. Some people has very talent, and they can earn money by themselves thanks to them. But generally speaking, market is going up, and that's why we can be successful. So a project needed to be humble, and entrepreneur have to think of community and how to contribute to the world and how to make the world a better place. So this is the most important mindset I learned. Unfortunately, we had a lot of the bad example, right? I don't mention the specific name, but the founder became, really eager or maybe selfish. Project always die. So one thing I learned in the industry is people need to be humble to make really sustainable use case.
Yeah, I think this is very well emphasized already a couple of years ago by Nassim Taleb in Fooled by Randomness, where he always saw that people were attributing the success that they had in the market really purely by randomness to themselves and their skill. And it's just a matter of time until they actually land on their belly, so to say. And he saw that over and over again.
Exactly. So what I would like to do in the coming years is probably I would like to make Astar Network really successful, and I'm not satisfied with the current situation of the Polkadot and also Astar at all. So I have to work more and really be serious. But at the same time, I would like to be humble, and I would like to make the world a better place. So from the next year, probably Astar is going to be carbon negative, and also I would like to use my fund and probably Astar's treasury for social goods, maybe planting woods or in a charity and so on.
Interesting. And what's the best places to keep up with these developments? Could you just plug your
cool. So I think, Twitter is the best place, and we have more than 326K followers on Twitter. Twitter is like more general content, and if you have any question or technical question or very token economics question and so on, please feel free to join our Discord So I'm always there, and our community manager always there. So we are very happy to answer any question except for price. And we have documentation. So if you'd like to learn more about technical things, so please read the documents like docs.astar.network. And if you are in the US or Singapore, or Japan, or Berlin, we are going to have a lot of the meetup and are going to organize meetups like Token 2049 in San Francisco Blockchain Week and so on. So I'm really excited to see you guys in person and discuss the future of the Astar and future of the Polkadot and the future of Web3.
Perfect. There you have it. Thank you very much, Sota. To everyone watching,
thank you very much.
Please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our previous episodes of Staking Mondays here available on YouTube and Spotify. Let us know who you would like to see next on Staking Mondays as well. For Sota in the audience, I'm Marian. As always, happy staking.